Welcome to a new week. It's actually Sunday, which I feel like I never start anything on a Sunday. To me, that's the end of the week. My week starts on Mondays. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I have been sick again or still. We'll see. I'm gonna go see my doctor this week, but I am in recovery mode. I'm feeling better. I'm gonna be shaking some cough and shortness of breath surely all week, so please forgive me in advance. This morning I finished reading The Nickel Boys. I spent a few days not really picking it up and then basically read most of it in a frenzy last night. This is about a boy in the 60s, I believe, in Florida. He's unfairly sentenced to a reform school where a lot of the boys, including our narrator, are heavily abused, and it's about the repercussions of his time there. And yeah, wow, heavy hitting, based on true stories. And there's a movie about it that came out recently, and that's kind of what pushed me to finally read this book. I've had it on my shelf for years. Apparently the movie is fantastic, but I had a sense that I wanted to read the book first. I believe they do very interesting things with point of view, which, given the plot of the book, is very intriguing. So I'm looking forward to watching it. Especially because while I found the plot and the storytelling super captivating, I brushed up a little bit against Whitehead's prose. I found it like a little bit stiff, and I have heard some people say similar things before. It's not for everyone. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get into the pace of it. But like I said, once I got into it, I found it flowed pretty well. My next read is The Door by Magda Szabo. The Door is an unsettling exploration of the relationship between two very different women. Magda is a writer, educated, married to an academic, public-spirited, with an on-again, off-again relationship to Hungary's communist authorities. Emmerence is a peasant, illiterate, impassive, abrupt, seemingly ageless. She lives alone in a house that no one else may enter, not even her closest relatives. She is Magda's housekeeper, and she has taken control over Magda's household, becoming indispensable to her, and Emmerence in her way has come to depend on Magda. They share a kind of love, at least until Magda's long-sought success as an author leads to a devastating revelation. And this was originally published in 1987 in Hungary, and then this translation into English was published in 2005. I will probably start this on the metro later because I'm headed to an Oscars watch party with two of my friends. I've been experimenting with heatless curls, and this is the result from my latest attempt. This is a little too curly for me. I think what I need to keep in mind while doing this is that my hair is naturally wavy, and it always holds curls very well. I'm using the belt of a bathrobe, and so I think I just pulled them a little too tight, and I had them in overnight. I do also want to figure out how to take care of my waves properly. I am focusing a bit more on hair care in the recent few weeks, mostly motivated by me editing some of my vlogs and realizing my hair looks quite bad. It's frizzy. I do need to cut off a few inches. I have some dead ends, and also just it frizzes up when I let it air dry, which I tend to do. It always has, and I know that's because there is a hidden wave pattern in there waiting to be tended to. So chilly. Yesterday it was so cold. Today is also cold. I need to patch up some holes in these, but these are lovely little hand warmers that my mom got me a while ago. And they are perfect for days like today, where I still gotta type on my computer, but my fingers are cold. But yeah, look at this. It's got all of these little holes in it. I feel like a Victorian orphan. I lit one of my favorite candles. I'm in my PJs. Maybe after I finish my meetings for the day, I'll work from my bed under my blankets. That might be nice.
Christ, that's what I need. Clean place, ease with Christ. Oh, Diane, I almost forgot. Got to find out what kind of tree.
Okay, this is the look right now. I took a shower. I took my lunchtime shower. Honestly, best part of working from home, I put my hair up in this when it was like 80% dry. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like this until I am annoyed by it. I was going to go out for a walk after I finished work, but it's snowing pretty hard out. It's like whiteout levels. Honestly, I just don't really feel like walking out for no reason where my face is just gonna get wet. I really do love winter. I like the snow quite a lot. I prefer to watch it from the inside, so I'm going to enjoy being cozy indoors and looking out at the people who have to be outside. My excuse is that I am recovering from an illness and I shouldn't aggravate it. Got a little gin and tonic here. The evening is off to kind of a backward start. So I signed off of work and then immediately made my chicken. I do the herbs and garlic with butter under the skin so that the skin gets super crispy and also you don't burn the garlic. So it might look naked, but don't worry, there is flavor. So that is cooking, and so what I do is I'm making a whole chicken. So tonight I'll eat like a leg with a salad, I think. I made some croutons. And then there's like the other legs, the breasts that I'll eat just throughout the week. And then the carcass, oh yeah, and any like little shreds from the rest of the chicken will then become a chicken salad. And then the carcass I will combine with the rest of what I keep in my freezer. I call it the broth bag. It contains like little vegetable bits, carrots, onions, I think like a duck leg is in there, and I'll just put that all into a pot, make some chicken broth, and yeah, use all the parts of the chicken. It was like $15 and I'll get like, I feel like 10 meals out of it. I don't know. We're trying something weird tonight. I am still coughing and have quite a sore throat. It's now been almost a month, kind of on and off. And then before that, kind of on and off throughout most of the end of the year. And I was talking to one of my colleagues the other day, and she said, "Have you tried the onion trick?" And I said, "What is that?" And she said, "Oh yeah, cut an onion in half and put it beside your bed, and it'll relieve your cough overnight." I said, honestly, like at this point, I'll gladly cut an onion and sleep next to it. I like the smell of onion. I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I was just looking at my little friend and just thought it was really funny. So I will report back in the morning with this onion. Making some bone tea, aka broth. I want to get this big chunk to go down, but it's like part of the whole carcass and I didn't want to break any of the bones. So hopefully as it progresses I can pat that bit down because that looks like some good fixins. Yeah, the nurse practitioner I saw said I don't have pneumonia. We did a chest x-ray. It seems to be some sort of just really long bronchitis. On a colleague's recommendation, I did sleep with a cut onion beside my bed last night, and I slept through the night, finally. I didn't wake up coughing, and I feel awesome, and so I don't really know what to do. I feel like I have like a sleep hangover where you get too much sleep and then the next day you don't really have the energy to do anything. So yeah, I've just kind of been sitting around all day. But I have some broth in progress on the stove from the chicken that I made the other day, and then things that were just like in my freezer and in my fridge. So that is going, and I think I'll just read. So I'll probably extend this vlog a few days so that I do something interesting in it besides just sort of staring at the wall and making soup. Let's close out this vlog. I finished reading The Door by Magda Szabo earlier this week, and I really loved it. I left it with my dad. I told him to go read it. Yeah, it's one of those books that, despite being a very small scale, there's not a lot of characters, it's just about a couple of characters going through a very specific point in their lives, and yet it's one of those books that just comments on what it is to be human, what it is to care about people, what it is to care about things and the world, and just so much stuff packed into a little book. And yeah, I found it hypnotizing. The prose was beautiful. I have The Fawn by Magda Szabo. I am going to read that at some point soon because I loved being in her world. It was dark, it was sad, but ultimately just a really fulfilling read. And yeah, I'm feeling much better. I think I've just about shaken this bronchitis. Yeah, I do still get a little short of breath, but I think it's more just I need to strengthen myself back up. Yeah, my cough is pretty much gone, and I am feeling better, feeling more alert, and yeah, finally. And yeah, for my hair, I did cut my bangs. They're a little shorter than I normally like. Really, I like this length best, when it's just sort of touching my eyebrows but not covering them up. I find this most flattering for my face, but they're a little short still. But that's okay, my hair grows super fast, so it's fine like this. And the overnight curls, I think, are working. I think I've kind of got the routine down. I walked out in the rain, and so the top of it has gotten a little frizzed up, but yeah, I'm quite happy with this. It looks much better than that sort of straight frizz that I had going on. Oh yeah, so I think in my last vlog I had organized this bookcase by genre. You may have noticed it's been undone. I did keep short stories separated from novels. They're on the top shelf, I think. It's just out of frame. But everything else I just put back in alphabetical order by author. So I've got short stories and I've got novels. Yeah, I think the books that I have, the different genres that they are, there's just too much overlap. It's really hard to separate them by genre in a way that makes sense to me, because I am the one using this book collection after all. Like, it really just needs to be a collection that works for me. And I think what works for me is just having all of the books alphabetized by author. That's really how I navigate this shelf. Having the short stories separated, I think, is helpful. There are a few still that toe the line between short story and novel. I do have, I think, 2 short story collections, but they're like all connected short stories, so you can read it as a novel. So yeah, I think the kind of books that I read, there's just too much play between genres, even play between forms, and so this is gonna work best for me for now. So I did have to undo all of the work that I had done a couple of weeks ago, but so I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.